Welcome. I'm so glad that you made the choice to practice today. Today we're going to be spending some time with self-care. It might be helpful for today's practice to have a block or a blanket. These aren't necessary, but if you would like to pause the video, you could go get those props. We're going to be starting on our backs today. So come to a comfortable position. You could have your legs straight or up. I'm going to have my feet wide and have my knees rock together. So begin to settle in, bringing awareness to your breath. It might feel good to have your eyes closed, noticing your inhales and your exhales, breathing in and out. Notice if you're holding any tension and see if you can settle in. Notice what thoughts pop up in your head without judgment. And when the thoughts pop in, just kindly lead yourself back to your breath. So rest here for a couple of minutes. I'd like you to repeat these phrases in your mind after me. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be open to this moment with ease and kindness. Let's repeat that one more time. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be open to this moment with ease and kindness. So we're going to take a deep inhale, so prepare to breathe in. So take a deep breath in through your belly, ribs, all the way up to your chest, and then let the air go through your mouth. So let's do that one more time. So deep, full breath in, filling up your lungs. We'll pause just for a moment and then let the air go. Now roll on to one side, and then we're going to be starting in an all fours position today. So spread your fingers a little bit, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, and your knees will be about hip distance apart. So we're going to start just by moving from side to side, breathing in as you move to one side, exhaling to the other side. One more time, breathing in as you move to one side, exhaling to the other side. Now come back to center, and then we'll do the same, but moving forward and back. So breathing in as you move forward slightly, exhaling as you sink back, not quite to child's pose, but just a little bit back. Once again, breathing in as you move forward, exhaling, moving towards child's pose. Come back to center. Now breathe in, bring your chin and tailbone up as you breathe in, and then exhale, rainbow your spine, tuck your chin and tailbone in. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in, chin and tailbone up, exhaling, rainbowing your spine, bringing chin to chest, tucking in your tailbone, and coming back to neutral. Now I'd like to offer you to move in a way that feels good to you, maybe incorporating some of those moves that we just did. So finding what feels good to you. Maybe the side to side felt good, maybe the front to back, maybe the cat-cow. Breathing in and out. So as you're moving in a way that feels good to you, notice if there are any areas that feel vulnerable, maybe a little bit creaky. Maybe you have an old injury. And just during our practice today, send your breath to those areas and be kind to yourself. So come back to a position of all fours, and we're going to just sink back on sitting on your thighs. I don't even know what this is called, sitting on the top of your feet, but just roll your wrists for just a moment, moving one way and then the other. And then come back to all fours, curl your toes, bring your knees off the mat just for a moment, and then come into a very bent knee downward dog. So keeping your knees really bent. But what we're aiming for is finding really long length throughout your back. So stretching your shoulders out, letting your neck completely relax. Now, start to bring your hips up towards the sky. Keeping your knees can still be a little bit bent. We'll take one breath here now, and as you inhale, look to your hands and then take baby steps up to the front of your mat. Come to halfway lift with a very straight back, pressing the crown of your head forward. Now bend your knees a lot and come into a forward fold. Let your neck completely relax. Feel your chest resting on your thighs. From here, ground your feet into the earth. You could come to stillness, or it might feel good to sway from side to side, maybe front to back. Now tuck your chin into your chest, press your feet into the earth to slowly start to rise up, keeping a round in your back. Slowly rising up to standing, let your chin come up, and then bring your arms up overhead. And then bring your hands to your heart and to your sides. So take a full deep breath in with your arms outstretched, and we're going to forward fold. Hands through heart center, tense your fingers, step your right foot back into a low lunge. Now plant your hands, step your left foot back into downward dog. Breathe in as you come to all fours, and then sink down into child's pose, resting your forehead on the mat. From here, place your right hand on the outside of your mat, and then place your left hand on top of your right hand. So you'll feel an opening in your side body. You could let your head rest on your right arm. We'll take one breath here. When you're ready to inhale, come back to center to child's pose. Now press up into all fours. Curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Look to your hands as you breathe in. Take steps up to halfway lift. Hinge and fold and press into the earth to rise up. From here, bring your hands together, and we're just going to tilt to the right, standing up tall, feeling that stretch along your right side body. As you're ready to take a breath in, come back up to center, bring your hands to your heart and down to your side. Take a full deep breath in, arms spread wide, breathe in, and then let it go as you hinge and forward, bringing your hands through your heart center. Tense your fingers, step your left foot back into low lunge. Plant your hands, step your right foot back into downward dog. Breathe in, come to all fours. Exhale to child's pose. Bring your left hand to the outside of your mat and then place your right hand on top of your left. This time you could use your left arm as a little pillow. Take a breath in here. Feel the stretch along your right side body. On your next breath in, come back to center, and then exhale, sink into child's pose. When you're ready to breathe in, come into all fours. Curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Look to your hands, walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Really straight, flat back. Exhale, hinge and fold. Press into the earth to rise up, extending your arms wide and then up, and then tip to the left, stretching your whole right side body. We'll stay here for one breath. As you're ready to inhale, come up, bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Take another full deep breath in, hinge and fold, bringing your hands through heart center. Tent your fingers, step your right foot back into low lunge. Listen, this time step your left foot back into plank or plank on knees. We'll stay here for a breath. And then place the tops of your feet on your mat and squeeze your sides with your arms as you lower all the way to your belly and rest your forehead on the mat. Take a breath in, bring your chest up, draw your shoulder blades down and back, and exhale your forehead to the mat. Let's do that 2 more times. So as you take a breath in, bring your chest up, drawing shoulders down and back. And exhale. And one more time. Breathe in, chest up. Exhale, forehead down. On your breath in, press in to all fours first. Then curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Take a breath in, lift your right leg up to the sky. Start by rolling your ankle one direction and then the next. And then with a straight leg, make big circles with your leg. So feeling your hip joint getting lubed up. Place your right foot down. Look to your hands. Walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold and press into the earth to rise up. Once again, we'll lean to the right up here, so feeling a stretch along your left side body. Breathe in and then bring your hands to your heart and to your sides. So take a full deep breath in, hinge and fold, bringing your hands through your heart. Tent your fingers, step your left foot back into low lunge. Plant your hands, step your right foot back into plank. If you're in plank, you can draw your heels towards the back of the room, drawing your navel to spine. Everyone, place knees on the ground, plant the tops of your feet on the ground, and lower your belly all the way to the earth, resting your forehead on the mat. As you take a breath in, come up to cobra. So you'll come up a little higher than before, but still really drawing your shoulders down and back. And lower down. Press into the earth, curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Breathe in, lift your left leg up to the sky, roll your your left ankle one direction and then the other, and then begin to make big circles with your left leg, one direction and then the other direction. Place your left foot back on the mat. Look to your hands. Take steps up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold. And then press into the earth. to rise up. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So we'll be coming on to our backs again. And if you have a block, you can use it, but you don't have to. So on your back, if you have the block, you can rest the block under your sacrum, and we'll come into a supported bridge pose. So if you have the block, you can use the block to support you. And come back to your breath here. So breathing in and out, letting your back body settle in. And then taking one more breath. And then you can lift your hips up just a tiny bit and come back to the earth. So let's do that one more time. So you can do it with the support of a block, or you can do it without the block. So press your feet and the backs of your arms up towards the earth, lifting your hips up to the sky. And then we'll stay here for 3, 2, 1, and lower down. So now draw your knees up, so lifting your feet off the ground. Place your hands on your knees. We're just going to move with breath. So as you exhale, draw your knees in towards your chest. Inhale, straighten your arms. Exhale, bring your knees to chest. Inhale, straighten. One more time. Bring your knees in and out. From here, we'll come into a figure 4 position, or pigeon on back. So take your your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. So you might find that this is where you want to stay. If you would like a little bit more opening, more of a stretch, you could lift your left foot off the ground. So feeling that stretch in your right hip. You could thread your right hand through the triangle in your leg and hold on to the back of your left thigh. And it might feel good to flex your right ankle in this position. And then we're just going to ease in. So still paying attention to your breath. Maybe imagining that you can send your breath to the area of your right hip. So let's take 2 more breaths in this position. Breathing in and out. One more time, breath in and breath out. So now you can bring your left foot to the ground, uncross your legs, press both feet into the earth, just feeling yourself grounding. Now this time, lift your left foot off the ground and cross your left ankle over your right knee. And then finding a position that works for your body. So possibly staying right where you're at here, maybe lifting your right foot off the ground, maybe holding on to the back of your right thigh, and maybe noticing that one side is a little bit tighter than the other. I notice that my left hip is a lot tighter than my right. And that's one of the beauties of yoga is having this awareness that we're not completely symmetrical, but noticing that we can move towards greater symmetry. And maybe I need to think about why my left hip is tighter than my right. And as I'm sitting here, I notice that when I'm sitting just in my daily life, I often cross my right knee over my right ankle over my left knee. So maybe I will consider when I'm sitting, maybe not crossing my legs as I'm sitting, or maybe doing the opposite and crossing my left over my right. So let's take one more breath here, and then we can release. So let your left leg uncross. Place both feet on the ground. Next, we're going to be coming to a position where our legs are up in the air. So once again, you could use the support of a block to place it under your lower back. If you don't have a block, you could place your hands palm side down underneath your back. So whichever position you choose, bring your legs up. So if you are using a block, you might need to adjust a little bit. So find a position that's comfortable. Bring your arms out to your sides. Maybe in a T might feel good. So you could feel an opening across your chest. And you could have your knees slightly bent. So keeping just a tiny micro bend in your knees, or as much of a bend as you need, depending on your flexibility. So bring your hands up, and we're just going to do a little bit of movement with breath. So as you breathe in, flex your feet and palms, and then as you exhale, point your toes and bring your hands the opposite direction, so pointing your fingers down. So breathing in and out, breathing in and out. And let's do that one more time. Breath in and out. Okay, we can bring your feet down. If you did use a block, you can let that go. So now draw your knees into your chest and really hug in. You could even bring your forehead up to your knees. And then we'll do a full body stretch. Stretching, reaching. And let's do that one more time. Bring your knees up to your chest. And this time just roll from side to side. So giving your spine a nice massage. Now bring your feet to the ground. Bring the soles of your feet together if that's comfortable. If you do have blocks, you could use the blocks and rest your knees on the block so that you have some support. And you could use your blanket here, and you could roll it up the long way and use some support to open up your chest. So finding a position that's comfortable. And if you're finding that this position is in no way comfortable for you, you can come to a Shavasana position. So keeping your legs straight and your arms wide. So find a position that feels good for you. And take a breath in, deep full breath in, and let it go. And feel yourself relaxing and letting go. So there's nothing left to do, nothing left to think about. Only taking time for your self-care, letting your body reset, and relax. So you could stay in this supported position with your feet together, or you could come to Shavasana. So find a position that feels good for you for your final resting pose. And as you're settling in, once again, say these words in your head. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be open to this moment with ease and kindness. Let's say that one more time. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be open to this moment with ease and kindness. Rest here. Nothing to do. Now is your time to simply be. Start to bring awareness to your breath, noticing your inhales and your exhales. Breathing in energy and feeling that energy start to bring your body to life. Maybe you might feel some wiggles in your fingers and your toes. As you continue to breathe, bringing in more energy, more oxygen, start to move around, maybe moving your arms and your legs. And then when you're ready, roll on to your side. Whichever side you roll onto, you could use that arm as a little pillow. For example, if you're on your right side, you can use your right arm as a pillow. Maybe drawing your knees into your chest. And as you rest here, take a moment to thank yourself for taking the time to slow down, to relax, to take care of yourself. And then when you're ready, you can press yourself up to a seated position. And we'll take one last full deep breath as a class together. So take a full deep breath in from your belly, ribs, and chest. Pause a moment, and then exhale. Thank you for practicing today. I'm grateful that you showed up. Namaste.